gentlemen, boys and girls.
Are you ready?
Talking junk in the break room. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Talking Junk.
We are live
In the break room.
It's Saturday. You know what that means. We in the break room today. How's everybody's weekend going? Talin,
Hey,
Chan?
how's it going?
Yo, what up?
Ironically,
Joker?
I'm not in the break room today.
You in the check room today?
Yeah, exactly. I'm
In
in that
that
bag
check.
room, counting
Getting that
stacks.
check.
Stacks. But, I'm getting there. It's getting bigger.
Get your money, boy. Get your money.
So how y'all doing? Y'all having a good night? Y'all enjoying that break room?
Yeah,
Sure are.
we are. We're about to enjoy it even more. Because just like last weekend, this episode is sponsored by
Uh-oh, don't say
Sugarworks
it.
Distillery.
I knew it.
And we're finishing off the toasted coconut flavored rum, the term.
Ooh.
But today we are making pina coladas. Are they?
Making or made? You over here just having a little cocktail
We
bar
made.
up in the back, huh?
Well, the bar's coming soon. There's going to be big changes to the break room coming. So stay tuned for that.
Okay. Get you guys like a porta potty or a bedpan and shit. That'd be great. Damn, I'm just gonna pour it right in my face. You can't have none.
Don't worry, we will be sending you bottles.
I'll be able to get lit on my birthday. It's cool. I'll have to choose one of these cocktails to try it, or maybe make one of my own. I don't know. I make a pretty good Moscow Mule, so if you send me some vodka, I might work with that. Never know.
I'm not sure if they make
Oh wait,
vodka.
they do, but it's corn vodka. So actually, don't send me that because that does not act well with my body. But I mean, a gift is a gift, so like I'll use it if you said it, but probably. If you want to see me get lit off some sugars, look at a little. Was that the liquor right there? What was that?
Don't worry. There's more where that came from.
Okay. You lit.
So, what'd you mix it up with this week? Because you're sharing a little bit of the details last week. What you got in there this time around?
All right, so we got a whole can of pineapple juice. Whole can.
Talking 32 ounces?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Oh, well, you're talking a big boy can. Okay.
Then it's 2 cans of coconut milk and 1 can of coconut cream. And like I said, half a bottle of Tremble Bay toasted coconut flavored rum.
Wow.
So you
That
got
was
it.
real pretty,
You gotta go
It's got a class to it.
sugarworksdistillery.com. Order you up a bottle.
You gotta get yourself a bottle of that sunshine. Mm-hmm.
Give me a bottle of that.
Definitely need that. Let me throw that up on the screen for you. See, we're not too prepared tonight because our dear manager and background analyst China is sick at home. So please get well soon because we are.
Devil through China, we miss you, the 10th wonder of the world.
Get better, China. We'll hold it down as best as we can. We won't destroy everything. We promise.
We'll try not to. The jury's out. Holy shit, I did it. All right. Now let's get that on screen. Got everything all in the way of my screen.
How can we see your screen if it's covered with shit, Jason? Come on.
Well, it's a big screen, But I just can't see the bottom because that's where the camera is.
He's a mess before the liquor.
You got to tighten up the HUD screen.
Yeah, I got to tighten it up. But it's a big ass screen, so I'm good.
So I guess we're talking about somebody very, very impactful today.
Yes, we will.
That's the aim. And the impactful name of that man is Mr. Bay, Mr. Turnbull Bay from the Coconut Rum sect of Florida.
And this is everything that you can get. The
I
shark
take
bite.
that back. It's not, but they got some nice bottles.
They do.
That's really nice.
That vanilla rum bottle kind of almost looks like it's got gold in there.
It does, right? But I have to think that that's the pure vanilla extract more than likely what they use for that. And it gives it almost like this honey texture. It looks real good. And I'm not a fan of spiced rum, but this is what we had last week, and this is what we'll have next week. We'll try to figure out what else to do because I don't really do spiced rum, but that rum is pretty good.
Spiced rum is better than cinnamon whiskey, too, in my opinion. Cinnamon whiskey is waste of whiskey.
No-go.
But that's me. If y'all love Fireball, something like that, I guarantee you this is some lit stuff right here.
Now, there's a little more actually in store. So if you're there, I'm pretty sure that that's them trying out new products. So if you're ever in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, stop into Sugarworks Distillery and get you a complimentary shot on Talking Junk. But as you can see, they have a very wide selection. So go here to sugarworksdistillery.com and get you a bottle. You show us the bottle on any of the social media platforms, and we'll send you a shirt. Limited supply.
You heard?
Limited supply.
We like to get lit with the family. So if you let us know, we'll hook you up with the shirt. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Sugarworks Distillery. Drink responsibly.
Please. Don't be stupid. We do not support stupidity outside of a safe space.
God, that's good. And it's so light. I'm gonna get lit.
So
let me show you.
What any words to say?
There's a whole bunch.
That's his glass, by the way. He was drinking out of that before we started.
Oh no, I wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Inside here, so.
So I don't know. Would you like? A lot of stuff has happened this week in the sports and entertainment world. I don't know if you would like for me to give you guys an update of what's going on.
Hey, sir.
Sure. I want you to give us a light little update on what's going on in the world.
A light little update. Well, there was a big signing of a huge superstar named FK, formerly known as the Giant, formerly known as the Big Show, named Paul White.
Oh yeah.
Signed with All Elite Wrestling, and it looks like he's gonna be doing a couple of angles in the ring before he decides to go in a backstage role. My inside guy told me that this is one of the biggest things because he's also like not because his size, because he's also like an attraction of wrestling. Like he's a guy that everybody compared him to Andre in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like his height and everything. Like there was a time that they even said that he was his son, and I don't know why they even said that.
This man has the record for most heel turns and face turns in the
turns ever. But remember, let me tell you what: the only superstar to win the WCW title, the ECW title, the WWF title, the WWE title.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Can you really call that one
the Giant? He's the Giant. Yo, he's the big man who was always kept around. He's the big man that always made Brock Lesnar look good. Made all the big dudes he made all the good guys, all the like those big good guys look real good.
Well, like, I never knew a Big Show.
And I respect his contribute to the business.
Talking about Giants, this week on AEW Dynamite, Cody Rhodes is gonna fight Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh yeah.
They pulling out
I
all the
feel like
stops with
there's
these
an angle.
celebs now, huh?
Like going back to that. This is why I feel like there's an angle with the whole Paul White thing.
Yeah, because they were supposed to fight in WWE.
So this is why I feel like
Mm.
there's an angle with this whole Paul White thing. But I'm really out of all of that, I'm actually not excited to see Cody and Shaq. I'm actually more excited to see Jean Cardell because I see her as like the next big thing. She has potential. She has the physique. I've never seen a woman with that, with
She's
being
brolic.
beautiful, with being beautiful and have that nice, beautiful physique at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like her being that size, and I'm like, and I'm really excited for what she's gonna bring because I feel like she could bring a lot. She has like a little bit of it. She has it. She has a little bit of it for me, and I like it. And going back to WWE, there's a whole bunch of shit going on with the Elimination Chamber, and
Isn't
maybe
there two black female wrestlers in WrestleMania or something like that coming up? Maybe
yes,
fighting for
Sasha
titles.
Bianca
Banks
Belair.
and
Bianca
Bianca
Belair
Belair.
declared she's gonna fight Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, which is great. I feel like it's a big step for like women's wrestling's been killing it the past 5 years. Like women's wrestling's been
It's
way better
definitely
than
picking
guys
up a lot.
since like 2015. Women's wrestling has been at its best. Like the past 6 years, like ever since I wasn't seeing Bailey and Sasha at the Barclays, that one match in NXT, man, bro, I paid $15 for those tickets, bro. I was not
Wow.
expecting to walk out of there to be like, damn, bro, this is fucking wrestling, bro. And I paid $15.58 for that fucking ticket. I was not expecting to go there. I went in there, and those girls tore the fucking house down, bro. They tore the whole Barclays Center down. Like literally, I cried after the fucking match. That's how good those females are right now. They
Still one of
really
the
that good
greatest
right now.
matches in NXT history.
Yeah, they're like for me one of the greatest matches of NXT history. That one for me, like Brooklyn 4, never gonna. I still get goosebumps. It's like when I see the match, bro. I still get the goosebumps. Like that's how good it is. Like that's my connection with the wrestler. Like I was just watching some clips of Daniel Bryan, like when he was in that promo that they cut in Washington one time with the John Cena Randy Orton when they were unifying the titles. And they were just interrupting, going crazy. Daniel Bryan, Daniel. Yeah, and it was
Yes,
it was
movement was
insane.
definitely full effect.
Yeah, that
And
was like,
he had the fucking definitely had the hype of the people.
like it was so crazy that Vince McMahon I heard Vince McMahon didn't even want to put the belt on him. I heard that they forced his hand, like literally, like it was the will of the people, like us as fans, we wanted that so bad. We forced his hand to fucking put the belt on him. Literally, we forced him. Like we
Yep.
forced them. Like
They made them people. We made him the people's champ. We made them,
yeah, like
and then their fucking handlers just decide to kill him off.
yeah, but like but still, we still was able to see like to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like for like the culmination of that story, how it ended with the Mania and shit. Like it was just so fucking dope. Like I was like man, like Daniel Bryan for me, he's one of the goats for me. I've always loved Daniel Bryan.
He is one of the greatest. He's one of the people's champs.
Yeah,
And every
he's
time you have somebody that
my
commands
champ.
the people, every single time you have somebody that commands the people,
Yeah, man, like
somebody there to shoot them down. Quite literal in most cases.
yeah.
JFK, big conspiracy.
Wait, hold up. I see you're about to transition right there. I see what you're doing there, Jason. I gotta ask y'all if you've seen something though, real quick, because you were talking about wrestling so much. Have y'all seen The Rock's new TV show?
Yeah,
I see the first episode. It was pretty
yes,
good.
I saw both of them. It's great. It's a great show. It's actually real. Those are actually real fucking stories. Real fucking
Is it?
stories.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really skeptical, and I'm not gonna lie. His teenage actor, whatever. There's something about his face that actually makes me angry. So I've avoided the show.
But he does look like a fucking cop, though. He does look like, and it's a true story. Like there's people who confirm, like there's people confirming it on Twitter that went to school. Like, yeah, we actually thought that he was a cop because he had a beard, and like there's people like that's the thing when you see people that they went to that high school and they're confirming it and shit because they probably not friends with The Rock, but they're gonna confirm like people are gonna confirm rumors of people from high school. Just like I bet that you guys know somebody from high school that there was that girl who had that rumor that she smelled like fish. Everybody knew that one girl in high school that she smelled like fish. You know what I'm saying? all you guys know who was that girl. You're not gonna say who she is to not embarrass her right now, but everybody knows.
Trust me,
Hey, yeah, yeah.
if I could
You know
remember
what I'm
the
saying?
story,
Everybody
I
like
would.
it's like that.
I
It's like
would.
that. Everybody he looked like a cop, so everybody knew that The Rock was like look. He looked like a fucking cop. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is.
Let's
How it
not,
was.
let's not act like if I didn't remember these bitches' names, I wouldn't be on camera right now saying it was you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows. We're not gonna embarrass them. You know, maybe they're better
Oh, no,
now.
I would.
Some,
I like
some probably are still. Some of those
nobody.
people that we know are still probably stinking, and maybe some of them have changed.
Nobody is gonna not take the chance to embarrass me if they get it. So if I get the chance, I'm doing it too. But
No, I'm not gonna do that. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But like I'm just putting that as an example. You know what exactly I'm saying?
Let's hope they're not
So
still
that does not help at all.
You know what I mean? Like when you're known for something,
Mhm.
when you
No, I
know,
feel
yeah,
Things that you know about.
it's crazy out here.
fucked up thing to be
All right,
known
so
about.
sorry to break you off there, Jason, but I thought of it and I was like, let me
It's all
see
right.
if they've checked it out, being longtime
Segway's
fans.
over. Segway's over, Talon. You ruined it.
I know I did, but you know what? That's all right.
It was a good
We'll get
segue.
over it.
It was a good
It
segue.
was. I was kind of pissed. You just started out of nowhere.
You
I
talk about
felt
wrestling.
bad.
I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna segue into this? How can I do that? It is so tough, and then it clicked. And
I feel like I
"Yeah,
broke a bunny's neck when I did that.
broke a bunny's neck.
Probably you need to start
Yeah,
watching
when
some
I did that, I
wrestling.
was holding a bunny and I'd be like, am I going to interject? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely did that. That was fucking.
At least watch the YouTube clips after the show if you don't want to watch it.
Okay. I'll do
Wait.
that. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good, bro.
I just I cut off Jason like somebody cut off somebody else real quickly in life. Somebody very important, somebody very inspiring to this nation that people don't really talk about much anymore, and they don't know much about them. But we can use laziness as a reason why we don't talk about it. We can use laziness as a segue tool to talk about these things, whatever it may be. Today, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? That's right. We talking about Malcolm X. Excuse me.
The X-Men.
Well,
The
more
real
like
X-Men.
the conspiracy surrounding the letter that just surfaced, basically stating the FBI and NYPD killed Malcolm X. So it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of conspiracies like this.
There's always a lot of conspiracies like this. Like it's possible. I don't doubt it. If it would have been possible at that time when we were living, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of white supremacy infrastructure at the time,
There's
so
still-
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's America, bro. White supremacy infrastructure.
At the time, it was
America.
we're still dealing with it today, but at the time, it was well, it's out in day like now, but it was a lot more out in day at that time. People were just getting used to like with black people. They were getting used to sharing the bus with black people. You know what I'm saying? So it was still a rough time.
Well, Malcolm X was born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska in 1925. Malcolm was the son of James Earl Little, a Baptist preacher who advocated the black nationalist ideals for Marcus Garvey. Threats from the Ku Klux Klan forced the family to move to Langston, Michigan, where his father continued to preach his controversial sermons despite continuing threats in 1931. Malcolm's father was murdered by the white supremacist Black Legion, and Michigan authorities refused to prosecute those responsible. See, this Sugar Works distillery is already kicking in. Anyway, authorities refused to prosecute those responsible. And in 1937, Malcolm was taken from his family by welfare caseworkers. By the time he reached high school, he had dropped out of school and moved to Boston, where he became increasingly involved in criminal activities. Now, I was watching stuff earlier because I was trying to cram so much into my head in like a few hours because I've been so busy this week. It's been so hard to just do anything. But he was bouncing around from foster home to foster home, and he just went to all white schools. There's even a photo of him in the eighth grade, in an all white school. He's the only black male there.
That's
So
so wild.
yeah, it was fucking crazy. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Like it kind of makes sense why, like when you're not growing up and seeing integration, that you would end up having the kind of initial position that he had about segregation and how that it was a bad call. Because if you're just the only black kid in a white school during segregation, you're probably thinking, nah, I'd rather just be with black people. These people fucking suck. I don't want to be here. You know, if there was 4 more black folk, that's not going to make these white folk less racist and terrible. So just keep us separate. I can understand where that would come from. But also, you couldn't watch Remember the Titans back then. It didn't exist yet. It didn't even happen.
Yeah, like and it kind of sucks because like he's the only one that has to experience being the odd person out of all those people. You know what I'm saying? He was probably the only black kid in the school, not even in the class, just in the school.
Probably including faculty too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of sucks. He doesn't have someone else to understand what he's going through, so it's even tougher on him at the time, and which is suck. It is tough because I've been through that when I went to DR. Like I was the only kid that like when I first started school down there, it was scary as hell. I was like, well, shit. And then I was able to get my way through. So he had to work through barriers, and then you have those parents that say, "Oh, don't hang out with that black kid," and this and that. Kids making fun of him and stuff every day. It sucks. That was a hard time for him. It's a really hard time for anybody.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Malcolm had a hard time too. In high school, he was a good kid though. Until he wanted to be a lawyer, and one of his teachers told him, "White people will never hire you as a lawyer. So why don't you do something that you're good at? You're good with your hands. Why don't you become a carpenter?" And that's when something inside him just basically died, and he just went to started selling drugs and pimping out women to pimps. He was doing everything. He was a G.
He was doing a lot of things.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that's where he became increasingly involved in activities in Boston. In 1946, at the age of 21, Malcolm was sent to prison on a burglary conviction. It was there he encountered the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, whose members are popularly known as Black Muslims. The Nation of Islam advocated black nationalism and radical separatism, and condemned Americans of European descent as immoral devils. Muhammad's teachings had a strong effect on Malcolm, who entered into an intense program of self-education and took the last name X to symbolize his stolen African identity. It was fucking hot. I seen that in an interview. They asked him what his given name was, and he said he doesn't. He's just his X is his name. And they were like, What was his father's last name? And he said his father never knew his true name. So he said,
So he never went by Shabazz?
No, he never recognized his name because he said that's a slave. I was a slave master's name. Some shit like that.
I'm just curious because like his daughters go by Shabazz. And he was actually introduced in the little bit of research that I did do. There was a time at Brown University back in the day where apparently an article was written by a student there that was talking about why segregation is like why desegregation is good for progress in society. And Malcolm read it, and he ended up coming by Brown University to speak against it. And they got an audio recording of it, which just recently, for whatever reason, this came to surface. Nobody at Brown even knew he came by there. And the lady who wrote the article also introduced him, and she introduced him as Malcolm X Shabazz.
No, yeah, it's here. Yeah, it's here. In the early 1960s, he began to develop a more outspoken philosophy than that of Elijah Muhammad, whom he felt did not significantly support the civil rights movement. In late 1963, Malcolm's suggestion that President John F. Kennedy's assassination was a matter of the chickens coming home to roost provided Elijah Muhammad, who believed that Malcolm had become too powerful, with a convenient opportunity to suspend him from the Nation of Islam. A few months
Or
later,
he.
huh?
I said before he.
Before he got shot.
Before he shot X. Before they conspired to kill that.
Before they conspired on him, because
That's what everybody was thinking for the years.
It still looks like that might be the case.
A few months later, Malcolm formally left the organization and made a Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, where he was profoundly affected by the lack of racial discord among Orthodox Muslims. He returned to America as El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, and in June 1964 founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity, which advocated black identity and held that racism, not the white race, was the great foe of the African American. Malcolm's new movement steadily gained followers, and his more moderate philosophy became increasingly influential in the civil rights movement, especially among the leaders of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. This was what was on the History.com website.
I think that him journeying out and coming back, I think she had mentioned it was like maybe 4 years after he had come to Brown University and actually spoke against the idea of desegregation, that he had started to assimilate the ideas right before he died, like shortly before he died, of segregation and everything like that. So I wonder if that was specifically caused by his trip to Mecca, because that's what it sounds like.
well, the rumors are what I was investigating this week, that that he was preaching one way of how he was going with things, like, go against white people, do this and do that or whatever, and then he supposedly had like a reflection and he changed it to be more peacefully. But then the people that he already
We are peaceful people. We are loving.
Yeah, but the people that he
everybody who loves us.
But can I finish? So the people that he had already fed that big thing, like, defend yourself against white people, do this against white people are this, white people are that. They have already settled with that, and so they saw that as a sign of weakness of him trying to be peacefully towards things, and that's why, in a way, people say that they killed him, because they felt like he got weak. And that's why, because he wanted to be more peaceful with it, instead of how he was, like, being more violent and this and recruit and like being more militant. So he, like, that was a problem. Like, they got mad at him because he stopped being militant, and that's why a lot of people say that this dude, Louis Farrakhan, killed him. So and in a way, I kind of see that he only preaches what Malcolm X did before, not what not the latest words. He only preaches his early words. It's real good to just preach like what's convenient or what makes you feel good. Like Louis Farrakhan.
It was the guy Louis Farrakhan?
Yeah, he's the guy that
Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, like he preaches a lot of Malcolm X stuff, but he doesn't preach the Malcolm X stuff that it was peaceful. He preaches that hateful Malcolm X speeches. You know what I'm saying? That speech.
Well, three men were convicted of his death in 1966. It was Talmadge Hayer, Thomas Hagen. No, that's what he was known as. Talmadge Hayer. Talmadge Hayer.
Yeah, Thomas Hayer.
You all right there, Sugar Work?
Sugar Works ain't good.
a dude known as Norman 3X Butler, and another guy known as Thomas 15-Time Johnson.
15-Time Johnson. That's such a weird ass nickname. 15 times what? He got to call you 15 times. 15 times you done some dumbass shit.
It's Norman 3-time Butler. So why is he 3 times and why is Johnson 15 times?
Because
like-
he's 3. Well, see, I mean, 15 is divided by 3, by 5.
Like what I feel happened with the
So maybe he's 5
assassination.
times the man.
Like, and going back to the assassination, what I feel probably might happen with the assassination, I feel like it wasn't the NYPD and the FBI that killed him. I feel like someone in the inside leaked the security coordinates of how
shown that they somebody on the inside orchestrated for his security to be arrested a few days before.
not arrested, but like in a way, his security detail was like,
oh, they were arrested.
How they were
No, this is a
operate.
fact. Like they were arrested a couple days before he was shot.
Wow.
There's the letter that just came out.
I did research.
Huh?
I said I didn't do much research, but I did research.
Well,
just a little bit.
What I was looking at, they were saying that they leaked his security detail, and that's how they were able to shoot him.
Well, it is the drink for me, and that's a great segue to another commercial. Sunshine, thank you.
You can't even do it anymore. You're not even holding the bottle right.
Wife, if you would pop that other bottle out of the side so we can show them what a nice bottle looks like. Now, this is the Turnbull Bay toasted coconut flavored rum that we're drinking here with the pina colada mix that we made earlier. It's kicking in. This glass was refilled, so I'm on my second glass, and this right here that my lovely wife
still on our first hour
is the Turnbull Bay spice flavored rum.
Let me give you screen time there.
Yes. It's
show
the drink for me, but it should be the drink for you also. So go to sugarworksdistillery.com and get you a bottle.
That's right. Get you a bottle. Get yourself lit.
And get yourself a free shirt after you walk.
LIT.
While supplies last.
While supplies last.
Now, I don't remember which was the guy that got out of jail, and he said that he wasn't the one that did it. I mean, he was the one of the ones that did it, but the 2 men that were in jail were innocent. And they all said that there were supposedly 5 guys, but once they arrested the first 3, they stopped the investigation.
Because they use it as scapegoat. They scapegoated the case. They just say, okay, these are the 3 guys. That's it. Boom, 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 and that's it. They just scapegoated it right away. They didn't go into detail with it.
Excuse me.
And that is still happening to today. That is still happening till this day. It's still happening. Look at that Netflix series about those kids and with the thing in Central Park with that girl. Well, they found that girl and they used those kids as a scapegoat to make the city look good.
I didn't know there was a series before this. I did a little bit of research on it earlier. I watched a few episodes. There's a documentary on Netflix about who killed Malcolm X.
Yeah, like
it goes very detailed. So
they use those guys as a scapegoat to make the because the thing is,
but it's not, they know who did it. They know. They're saying that the sawed off is the one that actually made contact with him. That he got hit, I believe, once in the chin area and like twice or fucking several times in the chest.
Yeah, and I think it was like one by the neck or something like that. They said
the sawed off that did it, and they said the man that in the documentary. I'm quoting the documentary, not myself, so don't come looking for little old me. But the person, apparently, his name. Well, first of all, let me just say that they try to say that it was from the 7th mosque in Harlem.
Yeah,
that Malcolm came from, but they did a little bit of sleuth work, and it really they think it came from the 5th mosque in Newark. That Newark was supposed to be their Mecca.
Yeah, Newark was supposed to be the Mecca of the whole.
So the that's why they didn't know who they were, because if they would have been anybody from the 7th, they would have known exactly who they were.
Yeah,
But they said one of the people, the person that held the shotgun, his name was William Bradley.
yeah, William Bradley. Yep.
He's known as Al Mufasa
Abu Fasa.
Shabazz.
Yeah,
Al Mustafa Shabazz.
it's
Well, see, then that's curious. The last name is Shabazz. Like, is that family then?
I took it as more like
how Cassius Clay changed to Muhammad Ali. It's not really like a family
like
thing.
that's exactly how it is. But I felt like it was like a low blow. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I took
Especially with Mufasa in there. Like, who you think you are?
Mustafa.
Oh, Mustafa. All right, my bad. I misheard there. I was gonna say Mufasa.
Mustafa. Yeah.
I feel like it was a fucking just a low blow. Like, yeah, I took the last shot. There's nothing y'all motherfuckers could do about it because I'm protected by the FBI, which is what the whole conspiracy, I believe, is, that the FBI colluded with these people and got them to do it. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like it'd be the first time.
But a lot of people say that the own government killed Kennedy too. A lot of people say
That
that
was
too.
actually probably the mafia, colluding with the government. The mafia back then, when Kennedy was president, was running shit. They were running shit. Apparently, Kennedy and his brother were big visitors of like the casinos out in Vegas and shit like that. So like they knew each other well.
And it's crazy that I'm gonna make this quick comparison real quick. Kennedy, the thing is, the family, the Kennedys, they were like built off of the mafia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they did the moonshine. They were in the moonshine business back in the day. They were into all of that. They were the tobacco trafficking. They were into all of that. So in a way, that family became like they invested, instead of like invested in like, you know, more criminal shit, they invested into education. So that's why all of them, that name got so powerful, because all of them got into politics. Every single one of them, from the like, and it just keeps being a tradition. Like it's gonna keep
became the Kennedys, like the Clintons.
Yeah, the Kennedys, like, you feel me, like the Clintons and stuff like the Bushes. You know what I'm saying? Like those family names are high, powerful family names, and they're gonna keep. You're gonna hear those names in politics for the rest of your life, because those families know they run the country. You know what I'm saying? They're protected. You know, like you're always gonna they're always gonna be on top. And but going back to that, that's the problem. So the mafia was mad at the Kennedys because they built off of that, and then they were acting too good, like how Donald Trump is trying to do now. Like Donald Trump's trying to do the same thing with his kids, push them into politics and shit like that, like make his name like how Kennedy did, so he has like a little say so on the table. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. It's a family thing. All families has a name, and you know everybody has a say on the table. The guys with the pockets decide what the guys with the politics do, and that's it.
This right here is a report from the other day of what initially we were supposed to be talking about, but it seems like it's ultimately going to be about whether the United States is taking these people who are fighting for real key things and
justice and progress.
Yeah, it's
they're scared of they're scared of people who have uprising of voice.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is. Like
I mean,
we're loving
I'm sorry,
people. We
go
love
ahead.
everybody who loves us, but we don't love anybody who doesn't love us.
This week marks 56 years since civil rights activist Malcolm X was assassinated right here in New York City. For decades, there have been many questions around the circumstances of his death and whether the three men convicted of his murder were actually the people responsible. Well, at a news conference last Saturday, Malcolm X's daughter heard a letter for the very first time that they say is evidence that the NYPD and the FBI conspired to have their father assassinated.
Now, this is the same guy right here.
Michelle Miller
Hold on, let me
explains
go back. I'm
what
not
this
fast
could
with
mean
the...
for Malcolm X's legacy. To
I
have
don't
their
want to hear what
father
she says. I believe it's this guy right here that does the Netflix series Who Killed Malcolm X.
Yeah. He's on that series. Yeah, I seen him.
Oh, that's okay, because I remember I've watched him in the press conference and he was saying how his father had written that letter back in like 2011. So he's been known about it. 10 years, for fuck's sake.
Ah, man.
It was my assignment to draw the two men into a felonious.
Raymond Wood, who died. He wrote that letter while giving a speech.
Hold up, if you want, I think I know a good press conference video if you want to see that.
Of the Negro
This was a good one, but I kind of
from the
skipped
level
through it
of
like a
civil
did.
rights to the level of human rights.
On February 21st, 1965, he was assassinated while giving a speech at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. Now, 56 years later,
Autobahn.
a letter given to Malcolm X's daughters could hold proof the NYPD and the FBI conspired to have him killed.
I am
These are
relieved
graphic
that I am
images,
able
so
to share this truth with the world today.
discretion advised.
Reginald Wood reads the words of his cousin, former undercover cop Raymond Wood, who died in November. He wrote that letter in 2011 to be released upon his death.
It was my assignment to draw the two men into a felonious federal crime so that they could be arrested by the FBI.
Those men were members of Malcolm X's security detail and were arrested days before his assassination.
There was no security to prevent the gunmen from coming into the building.
3 members of the Nation of Islam were convicted.
Now, this man right here, he admitted to the killing. He was one of the gunmen. He's the one that states that there were 5 people. But these 2 young men here, he always stated that they were innocent. And they always stated that they were innocent. But ironically,
And these are the shooters of Malcolm we're talking about. Alleged shooters.
Yes, the alleged shooters, but convicted shooters. But I believe the gentleman over here on the far left, he was out of jail, and these 2 men died in jail.
Yeah, and but also going to that, like they were also saying, like how he always said that those guys weren't part of the thing, like so then like after that happened, the police force and the government wants to make themselves look good for the black community, making them seem like they solved the crime to their leader fast and stuff, and that was able to like in a way they like blindsided a lot of black leaders, making themselves look good because they solved the crime so fast about their black leader, and he used to preach all this stuff that they never used to take care of the black. So and that was like that's like their hypnosis on things. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't have too much publicity on it, they're not gonna take. Yeah, so they spend it. So they went and used that, and found justice. These are the guys who killed your leader. Da 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 da. Oh, the white people did this for the government, for the black people, and that made them supposedly look good. And that's what happened.
Well, I don't remember if in this newscast they acknowledged the fact that these 2 men were innocent. Let's find out.
Of the murder.
Malcolm's death never sat right with me.
On the heels of the 2020 Netflix documentary, Who Killed Malcolm X, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office began a preliminary review last February. After the letter's release, it says their review remains active and ongoing. As for the NYPD and the FBI, they say they have turned over all their relevant records to the DA and will cooperate. For CBS This Morning, Michelle Miller, New York.
First on
This
CBS.
is Malcolm's daughter here.
This morning, Malcolm X's daughter, that's Ilyasa Shabazz, and
They were just touching on that too. I honestly don't know how much of this news clip I can play without being sued. So I'm gonna.
I mean, it's news, so you can't be sued for showing a news clip. It's public access.
Well, I'm also putting it on my media.
I think you just gotta put recognition. Some content I don't own copyrights to. I think you just have to put that.
Yeah,
on.
You just gotta say that.
Make sure that it's that some of the stuff you're presenting it's not you. You know, like it's not your. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah, it is just crazy, Sunshine. It is.
Don't worry about me eating your kisses. You're putting them on the table. I'm gonna eat them.
Stop eating my fucking kisses.
But,
For a second there, I was like eating her kisses. Is that why you were off camera? Save that for
What in
later.
the Matrix again?
Well, I'm off camera because we're looking for stuff actively. Like I said, China's
I
homesick.
bet. Eating kisses, shit.
Get well soon, China, because we're lost
Stop.
without
we
you.
miss you, China.
I miss you too, China, but I'm not lost. I'm not gonna lie like these guys.
You are lost.
I appreciate you.
You're lost more than anyone.
But I
Me?
hope one day that we can.
I mean,
I really
I'm not
hope
gonna
this
say you're
year.
wrong.
I'm hoping this year maybe we can all we can all meet up and have like a live podcast all together at the same time.
Well, by the time all of this happens,
Maybe.
I will officially have the break room up and running.
Okay.
So full size bar and all.
I mean,
Okay.
it'll all be contingent on my school schedule, but I
No,
graduate
but like
next year. So.
we'll make that we'll make that episode special because it will be like the first time we're all. Because I know you, Jason, but I don't know Tully in person or China in person. So it'll be like
I'm not even this light skinned. I'm dark as shit.
Anybody ever called you that before? That's kind of a cool
Tully.
nickname. Tully.
What?
Never thought about that. That's hot.
Tully.
Tully.
Oh, Tully.
Telly. Like telemetry.
Donna said you're lost with your wife. Without your wife.
If you had said that 2 years ago, Donna, I would have been in agreement with you.
Don't worry, you junkers. We're here. Enjoying it. I hope everybody out there is having a safe weekend with their families.
Oh.
See who in the world
I forgot.
Listen, you, my dear friend, are on duty right now. All right, you're not the one here sipping the Sugar Works Distillery toasted coconut Turnbull Bay rum at all. Okay, and you sound like you are. Okay.
He's over there getting that bag.
That's right. Making them keyboard sounds. Clack. Each click is 10 cents, bro.
Getting that trust fund for the Doge.
Yeah, that was $1 right there, baby.
Getting that Doge fund ready.
That's right. I just earned 5 coins. What did you do today?
Exactly. Look at that.
I bought a car.
Oh, where you got a car?
Oh my God, hey. Jason! If you're just gonna flex, do it outright. Don't make us look like we're gonna look good.
Oh, so it's
I just talked about Dogecoin.
It's a shitty used car, but
what kind of car?
It's a car though. That's like thousands of Dogecoin.
Been trying to make moves, you know, not just with
podcasts,
trying to get sponsors. So you're saying what did I do today? I didn't just buy Dogecoin.
Well, what did you buy? Did you buy some Earthfuel?
Yeah, did you get some good cologne, bro? I'm wearing some Chanel right now.
No, but I need to send you some money so you can buy me some cologne and ship it to me.
Bro, I can. You tell me what you need. I can give you recommendations out the ass. You gotta have a fragrance discounter near you, and if not online, like I can send you in the right direction.
Listen, I trust your judgment. I see you got a whole collection. I'll just send you a couple of dollars. You send.
Oh, you're a cologne guy too. You're a cologne guy. I'm a cologne guy too.
I am. I'm currently wearing Chanel Allure Sport Pour Homme.
I got the Versace. It came with a book bag for the blue Versace. I got that. I got Gucci Guilty, and I got one that like my mom and my sister love it. It's called Azzaro Chrome. I don't know if you heard of that one.
Yep, Azzaro Chrome. I know that.
Oh my God, that cologne is the like. Poof.
Azzaro Wanted Night is also supposed to be a really good knockoff of like a $400 niche brand.
My mom, that's what my mom does. My mom does that down in DR. She sells perfumes and shit. So I know a lot about colognes and shit. Like she's the one that like got me into that shit. Since I'm a kid, I've always had like a little. The first cologne that she got me was an iceberg. Remember the iceberg with the twist top? It was like a
Mm.
top that lock. It was an
I
iceberg.
actually started doing colognes like really the last 2-3 years, but really heavily the
It was
last year
it
and a
was
half.
iceberg. It was iceberg and the Bora Bora. That was one of those. Those are the ones that I used to wear a lot. Bora Bora and the
I used
curve.
to wear
You know,
Jacquard Noir.
everybody had a curve. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a curve starting up. The curve black, and the curve.
Shout out to Bod Black, by the way. That was a solid ass smell.
Word. But I love
But
the
yeah, I'm
Lacoste.
not gonna lie, I've gotten kind of bougie with my smells. It's gotta smell
Nah,
good,
man, you got
but it
to.
doesn't have
Got
to be
to.
expensive. But most of my shit is $60 to $100.
But remember, colognes are also worn for occasion. If you're going to a club, wear a strong one. If you're going to like in the morning, you gotta wear something a little light.
Oh, I got a whole wide breadth of it. I got that Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb. I got Dior Fahrenheit. I've got Armani Code Profumo. I've got some
I got
Tommy
the
Bahama
I got the Chanel
Nautica. I
Savage
got
too.
Prada. I got Chanel. I got Yves Saint Laurent. I'm all over the place, bro. I got Mugler.
That's what's up. I got like 6 colognes right now. Like I like 6. I'm like at 6.
I don't front. My collection's like worth over a G.
I got the Guilty. I got the Guilty. The Versace, the Chanel Savage, the Azzaro. I have the 1 million.
Sorry for delay that, man.
No problem. I figured it was probably something going on. No big deal.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy.
Oh, shit.
Huh?
And then if you want,
Are you
go
in
ahead.
trouble? Are you in trouble or something?
I come from the kitchen.
Oh, I hope he's not in trouble.
Nah, he's not in trouble.
Oh.
He's going to break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were in trouble for a second.
He thought you just got arrested.
Bro, come on. Nah, bro, that's security.
Nah, that dude came behind you like a cop, like, hey.
Technically, he is. For the hospital.
Oh, you're a cop. Oh, you're a security guard.
Like, what I do is under security. So, like, we work with them, and they break us up weekends.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back.
All right.
Now, let me tell you. I'm going to show you some real fat boy shit real quick.
Let me see.
Right, take
fat
that.
boy.
Right, take it. Chew it up a little bit. Then you take the pina colada we just made. Right?
Oh, my God.
You take a step.
That probably would be good with some Reese's Pieces if you did that.
It's like a chocolate pina colada.
Oh, man, my man Jay lit. Man, I'm going to see if I order me a Sugar Works this week. I'm going to see if I get me a bottle of that. And I told you, open up a Cash App, please, so I can get a T-shirt.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I really want a T-shirt.
I'm making the website so everybody could just start sending their orders to the website. But you could just Zelle me. I'll send you the information after.
All right. Like, I don't really like Cash App is a lot easier for me. Like, that's why
I think Jasmine got a Cash App.
I do.
Well, okay.
Straight up, Zelle is way better than Cash App.
How much are the shirts? So, we'll exchange that info after the show.
Your business, Talon.
It's 25.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. I want to get it like at least 2.
Yeah, just let me know which ones you want. I got the break room.
Yeah, I want that because I'm part of the break room. Yeah, I like that one.
We're gonna get some new ones too.
So what do y'all think, man?
I just kind of want to flex real quick. We got the dope ass hand dryers here.
Ooh, the Tyson air dryers, huh?
Yeah.
I actually want to buy me one of the fans, man.
Stop putting your dick in the hand blower, Talon.
Huh?
Stop putting your dick in the hand blower.
No.
It's not big enough. Be quiet.
Those are actually the best to dry. If your shirt ever gets wet or something, to dry them shit, that shit'll dry it quick.
Yo, these hand blades are dope though. They really do dry your hands perfect.
Well, now the Jungers can enjoy a bathroom in a bathroom break.
You just heard Talon blow himself.
Yes, sir.
That's horrible.
So I do think I don't know. They say The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had nothing to do with the assassination of Malcolm X. Some say he did. Some say he didn't. But with
He
all
was
of
a scapegoat. He was a
So
scapegoat.
it appears that my boy is about to join us. I guess the fight's over, which I'm guessing Canelo must have just.
Was it? Who
But
was
yeah,
it?
we should
It
have
was a
him in
boxing
person.
match, right? It was like I think there's like 2 fights.
All right, sunshine.
Yeah, there were. The main ticket was Canelo, though.
On that drink. Don't drink on that drink.
Canelo probably won.
What the hell?
Stop it.
I like Canelo.
We can ask him when he gets up here.
Don't drink when I drink.
I think my dad's related to him.
He's fighting like Ibrahim or something like that.
Yeah. Andre Ewer. Yeah.
I think that's my dad's cousin or some shit.
What?
Cotto.
So Cotto?
Yeah, I think so.
He was the only one that had Mayweather beat, bro. He just fucked up after the 5th round.
It was a good fight.
You know, he had him the first 5 rounds. Cotto had him. He just fucked up. Like Mayweather, his defense stepped up in the 5th round. That's it. But like Cotto had him. I was scared. I thought I was gonna lose my money.
No, are you crazy?
Yeah, I won my money. I mean,
Never bet against Mayweather because then
of
you
course not. You know how much money the last time when Mayweather fought Canelo,
he's the king of the.
the last time when Canelo fought Mayweather, I won $1,000 off of like 3 Mexicans.
Yes, he is king of the shoulder lean. Yeah, we know.
Of course, the king of the
Cousin, stupid.
Who? Canelo?
God.
I don't know.
Canelo's that dude, man. I like Canelo. He's alright.
Andre, how you doing, my brother?
What's up? How you doing?
Excuse me for the tongue tie.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
We're
Hey,
a
nice
little
to meet you.
sponsored this week, the Sugar Works Distillery. We've been sipping a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sipping the toasted coconut and a pina colada, 80 proof.
I'm just over here making it up, you know what I'm saying, with the natural leaf.
How was the
Smelling having a nice little blizzy.
How was the fight?
I didn't even watch it.
Oh, really? Who won? Did Canelo win or anything like that?
Canelo just won.
Of course he did.
4-round TKO. It was one of those fights you probably shouldn't have paid to watch or cared to watch in the first place. It was a waste.
It was like how the Tyson fights were back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember my dad did a whole big party, right, for Tyson. This is funny. It's a really funny story because he was talking about it the other day. So my uncles, his friends from work came over. Everybody came over. So, you know, back in the day, our pay-per-view was like almost $80, especially for Tyson. So Tyson starts, fucking ends the fight in fucking 8 seconds. My dad was like, fuck, what the fuck is this? But yo, my dad was so pissed because he spent $80 on the pay-per-view for fucking 8 seconds to Mike Tyson. And he was pissed. He was so pissed. He was like, it was one of the funniest stories. Like I always remember that. Like the only time I got my money's worth on a pay-per-view that I paid for was the Brock Lesnar and UFC against Frank Mir. That's the only time that I got my money's worth. That's it. Other than that, there hasn't been no boxing or UFC lately that's caught my attention like that.
Yeah, people don't pay for shit now. It's not. I won't say it's a waste of money because it's, you know, if you feel like paying for something, go ahead and do it. But with all these streaming sites and everything, you might as well.
Oh yeah. I got the sites. You can ask Jason. I got the sites for everything. I'll find a way to watch.
We're not promoting pirating. All right.
No, we're not promoting.
I'm not trying to get sued.
No problem. We're not promoting pirating.
Hey, what up, bro? My bad.
I pay for my streaming services for certain places. I watch WWE Network for my pay-per-views.
All of them?
Well, yeah, most of them. I don't know how I'm going to do a WrestleMania. I'm going to have to do a Peacock for like a month.
Just got to find somebody who gets a free trial. They're always doing that shit.
No, I'll do a free trial. I'll do a free trial for Mania.
Tyler, do you want to give Andre a little recap about what we were just talking about? I am in no shape.
Sure, I can give him a little bit of an idea.
Oh yeah, you Jason hammered over there.
A little bit.
So what we did was we just kind of did like a little quick biography about like Malcolm, where he came from, and just like what he was doing, a little bit how he changed, how he started more militant, and then he had went over to Mecca, and then after he came back, he had changed his name and changed his position a bit, and then we also commented on the little bit of that we knew about conspiracies going on there in relation to Malcolm, in relation to his alleged killers, a little bit of MLK, a little bit of Robert Kennedy, and just kind of ended up on how the government's clearly killing motherfuckers that are progressive, and like for justice in some aspect. And even though it's right in our faces, we still just like, it's conspiracy, whatever. And then somebody gets out or dies, and there's a letter release saying, yeah, no, they did that shit. And then we got back to a Sugar Works advertisement, and then we got a little bit off trail, and now we're here. So welcome to the break room, bro. It's been a while trying to get you up here.
Yeah, like it's funny how you talk about people saying conspiracies or this or that, and there's a video of Malcolm saying how the Nation of Islam sent people to try to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they threw the Molotovs through his window.
Or how he had somebody to try to come bomb his car, and he catches the dude in the act of setting up the car bomb, and he talks him out of it, and he explains why he has this issue with the Nation, and people will still be like, "Oh nah, the Nation didn't kill him," and it's like, nah, it's very possible. Like it's not. I don't think it's a debate, but
we also talked about that too, about how he got to a point where the Nation was feeling threatened by the power that he was gaining, and the fact that he didn't have the same views as they did. And I think it was Jason or maybe Chance that was talking about how I think it was Chance who was talking about how Louis Farrakhan only talks about the more militant, older Malcolm, not the newer Malcolm before he passed.
Yeah, Malcolm got a little too big, a little too popular, so they told him he couldn't speak, and they had to shut him
The Nation
off.
of Islam did?
Yeah.
That's wild. You're doing too good a job, so shut the fuck up, please. Like, that's sus. That's sus as hell.
It's not he was doing too good of a job. It was because he wasn't the leader of the Nation of Islam, but he was the most important face in the Nation of Islam. Gotcha. And it's just natural for people to have jealousy. What would you say?
He was the poster boy.
Yeah, like he was the face. Even think about it. He's been dead for what 60 years now, and he's still the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like the only close second would be MLK, but even at the same time, they're two totally different people who did different things. And we're coming from
but
angle,
Martin Luther King was a Muslim.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they were doing like for justice and civil rights, but their angles were so different that like I don't know. It's like Malcolm, I feel like was probably on a more I don't want to say successful, but like he was on a path to where he would definitely have gotten shit done just because he was younger. He had been all around so much, and he was trying, like he had come back around from the idea of like segregation is key to, I understand where desegregation is coming from. But again, I'm speaking like a fucking like, a greenhorn here. I don't really know a whole lot of shit, but from the observations I had, Martin was peaceful from the get-go. Malcolm got there, but it doesn't seem like Malcolm on the low was like grimy or anything like that. But there seems like there might be a little bit of grimy things going on with MLK in the background. Not that that matters, but like just talk about differences of character and like who they were. Like they're very different, influential black people.
Yeah, but that's what like what the opinion that I was saying earlier. Like, he preached one thing, more militant, and then he softened up, and a lot of people felt some type of way, like, yo, why you pulling back now? After he was like, stepping like hard, you know what I'm saying? Because people attract to being more violent and more vocal than being more peaceful.
I really don't think he slowed up.
Yeah,
Isn't
he
that
did.
what
He
he
did.
said?
Yeah, he did. He did.
His
Yeah, he
whole
did.
purpose
Malcolm?
is always his
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah, because he was more aggressive and more. He had a more violent approach, but then he toned it down and he went more softer. And I
But
know, and I see you
as
can
you
see
can
it in
see,
the like even
as
when you read the
in the
books, you can
quote
see it in
below,
the books
though,
that he
you
slows his
can.
tone down.
But as you can see from the quote below, he states it himself. He only needs to get that way for the people that get that way with him. He doesn't always need to be that way. It doesn't need to always be a fight for something. I
Now,
can
I
come
don't
together.
know. I don't know if this is the case. You might know, Dre. I hadn't really thought about it, but because of that position, was he tied at all to the Black Panthers like that or not?
Malcolm?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean was he tied to the Panthers? Like was he
Like, because how the Panthers, they had the same idea, like, we got AKs and shit, and, like, we're ready to go to war, but we're not trying to go to war, but we'll let you know that we're strapped.
I'm sure Malcolm had some ties and was cool with Panthers, but the nation has their own thing, so he's not gonna be doing it like
They have
that.
their own army.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, well, I mean, in the sense of, like, I guess alliance, because they're both pushing for black justice kind of thing. Because I know that the Panthers were Islamic, and that's kind of a big position on that, on why I wouldn't imagine them to be allies. But in like brothers in arms kind of a thing, like did he ever have like associations like that, or was he really just not like, did he not even touch that topic? Because it almost seems like whenever Malcolm, Martin Luther, and the Black Panthers are all they're talked about separately, even though they had the same core focus going on from different angles. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. And they're talked about separately because they're all part of different organizations. So they might have some overlapping as far as ideologies go, but it's like it's a completely different thought process on how the nation is going to do things or the SCLC is going to do things versus the Panthers. So like,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, I was gonna like, that's what I'm wondering, like, because of the fact that they had their own opinions and stuff like that, like it seems like either they would be brothers at arms because they share a similar core belief, or they would be somewhat at odds just because of the fact that they don't have the same beliefs. So like there's never any, like, at least that I don't know of, there's not a lot of history of contention, but there's not a lot of history of unity there either. So I'm
but
curious if you had heard of anything.
It's mainly due to the fact that it was happening so rapidly back then.
Yeah, I
that
felt like they just had different approaches.
their own building blocks to their own story.
Yeah, I feel like it's just different. They all had a different approach to how they wanted black justice for me.
It's different
That's how I
approach.
feel like
They
it
all
was.
have their own encounters. Not
Yeah, of course.
everybody's encounter was ultimately the same in certain aspects, but they all experienced it differently. You know what I mean? Do I make sense with what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I feel you. I've never actually thought about this myself, so like that's why I'm bringing it
all
up
happening at the same time.
Yeah. Again, though, but that also still, like, it begs the question to me. It's like, well, like, it begs the question to me because with each one of those, there's conspiracy involved, true conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
With the FBI and with the white man and all that. So it's like, as much as they're either at odds or at contention, I wonder if there just wasn't things that are just like, nah, we're going to make sure that shit does not happen, because if they link up in unity, then we're fucked. Now, granted, I understand it was different timelines and stuff like that, but you do things like that to seed an idea and keep it going, even if it evolves. So, you know, I wonder what kind of documents might come to fruition over the next 10 years, you know?
There's just always content going to be coming out of stuff like that. Like, there's always going to be people creating a story, and that's like the whole thing with it. You know, like we follow one story for so long, and then as adults, we're told that it's a totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at Christopher Columbus.
And it sucks that why can't we just be fed what we had to learn now as adults, young? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just know like that from the beginning? and
Yeah.
and that
They have to keep us in order, bro.
Yes,
yeah,
you
no,
gotta,
yeah,
you gotta
of course,
fall in line.
and going back to the part where people why people don't mention Malcolm X, the people why people don't mention Malcolm X, because Malcolm X isn't fed to us on TV how Martin Luther King is fed to us on TV.
Oh, and
That's why nobody.
there's a perfectly good
That's
reason
why
for that.
that's why Malcolm X is not. That's why Malcolm X is not praised, because the like they don't put the person who caused controversy. They put the person who wanted a little less and was a little more quieter. And Martin Luther King was more of a peaceful man. He had a peaceful more of approach to things than how Malcolm X was. Like, Malcolm X, his speeches were more.
And yet he was still set up and killed by the same
Yeah,
people.
yeah, of course, because he had that he had like that inspiration, just like with the thing with Tupac. A lot of people fuck with Tupac because they felt like he had like an ideology of what Malcolm X was saying through his songs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think the government killed Tupac too because of like how he was.
And
You know what I'm saying?
LAPD.
Like but keep going
Yeah.
with Malcolm X. That's why the reason we not praise him, because he's not fed to us on TV. We see so much stuff about Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King. There's not a I hear that people celebrate a Malcolm X Day, but it's not put on TV. I don't see that on my calendar. Like, oh, Malcolm X Day. I don't see that on my calendar like how Martin Luther King is. I don't, and that's why people don't praise Malcolm X. But in a way, Malcolm X kind of said things that Martin Luther King should have said.
School on Martin Luther King Day. Go home on that day.
Yeah, it's wild. There's a Martin Luther King Jr. Day, no Malcolm X Day.
Yeah,
just put him in February with everybody else.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why people don't know about Malcolm X, because he's not fed to us.
Malcolm was radical though. Like it makes perfectly good sense for Malcolm X to not have a national holiday when you think about what he said in this country. Like I understand why he wouldn't have a holiday. And a lot of states don't like the fact that we have a Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
No, yeah, there's a lot of
which is wild.
Which is wild.
There's plenty of states that voted against this when they got passed in legislation. They were like,
we
don't want to thing.
And that's what shows, man.
Named Martin Luther King Jr.
Like I'm not trying to compare like any. I'm not gonna make it like a comparison, but towards it, the thing is with Malcolm X, a lot of black people, when I hear like a lot of my black friends and my friends' parents, that grew up in that era, they tell me like people drew to Malcolm X because he would say what was real black pain going on through prison and stuff like that.
But it comes down to what I said before. It's all in perspective, because
but
Martin had his followers too, and it was more of a Christian-based following.
But a lot of black people say, they've even said it, that they love Martin Luther King, but in a way there were things that that Martin Luther King also sometimes held back from saying because he didn't want to cause controversy or maybe radicalism, as they say. And Malcolm X would say that. You know what I'm saying? He would bring that part of like that he will try to get to people with that part, like that anger part, why they did that to you, like that's fucked up, that they shouldn't be doing that to you, and that's what Malcolm X, he says more things that are more in detail than Martin Luther King did. Martin Luther King was just looking for peace. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted peace.
Weren't they actually at odds because of that? I could have sworn I read somewhere, heard somewhere at one point that they kind of didn't like each other because of that. But I might be bullshitting that. That might be the internet right there.
I think they just had disagreements, but they both had just different approaches on how they were going with it.
Now I'm pretty sure Martin felt some kind of way about Malcolm calling him Uncle Tom and things like that.
Yeah, I thought he did say shit like that. Yeah. Okay, so there was a little bit of like controversy that went on, but like that's still not a lot.
Yeah. But you realize Malcolm X recognizes Dr. King though. He gives him his respect though. Like if you notice, like he gives him his respect after. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when Malcolm X calmed his tone down a little bit with shit. He got a little more peaceful. Like and that's where I felt like that was his downfall. You feel me? Like he had a more certain approach, and people thought his weakness after he changed up, and they got mad over it.
Was it Malcolm that got assassinated first?
Yeah, no. Dr. King got assassinated first.
I think it was Malcolm.
No.
I think it was. I think it was.
How far apart were the assassinations?
It
That's
wasn't. It
also
weren't.
curious to me.
It wasn't that far apart.
I think they were like 10, 12 years apart. I think
No,
one was in the 60s, one was in the 80s.
no. They both were. They might have been like a year or two apart. Like I think King died in 60.
I think he died like in 68.
Yeah,
Let us use the
Malcolm
internet
died in
unlike many
65.
fellows.
Malcolm
Malcolm
Okay, there
died
you go.
February 21st, 1965.
And Dr. King?
I'll tell you right now.
He probably died. Was it 64?
68.
68?
Yeah, see, so Malcolm. Hold on, let me get the
April 4th, 1968.
April 4th, 1968. So yeah, see, Malcolm died first.
And let's point this out. Malcolm was shot to death. Martin Luther was smothered to death in his hospital bed.
Yes, because he did get shot, but he lived.
Yeah, he lived, but he got killed in the hospital.
Which it's wild that like so much of MLK is out there. We got a fucking holiday, but you tell people that they're like, huh? And then they're like, no, that's not true. And then you show them pictures of him in the hospital alive.
MLK is on an NBA jersey. Like he's on a jersey of the Atlanta Hawks permanently. Like everybody knows who's gonna be MLK forever. Like, you know, his legacy.
68.
Yeah.
Malcolm was killed in 68.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever think there'll be somebody as big as Malcolm or MLK?
Right now, a person.
Do you think there ever could be, for that matter?
No.
It's possible.
There are people
I have hope. I'm not saying those people out there. I think there's
you're talking about Jesse and Al, and those they tried to get to that level of fame and notoriety, but they'll never be able to do it.
I feel like there's I feel like there's somebody up and coming soon. I feel like there'll be somebody out there soon that's gonna make that real shockwave of like that.
But we'll all be able to see through it. We'll all be able to see that whoever they put out there in front of us, that they're being propped up and it's not real. So for as much
as
what
I feel about Obama, to be honest.
Well, not for nothing. A lot of shit now. a lot of shit now. You feel me? A lot of people are trying to be more original than ever because of the whole social media thing. So now, you feel me?
Yeah, but social media is all a facade anyway. Everybody's all fake on social media, all of it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, everybody's all fake, but now it's easy for you to discover what your backstory is. You feel me? A lot of people find out a lot of shit about you now through social media that you did that they did not even
think about. Nobody gives
a
fuck about that, because if people gave a fuck about that, Amber Heard wouldn't have a job right now.
Well, and they give a fuck about it when you're really really relevant. They really give a fuck about it. And that's
the problem, though.
when you're relevant, when you're really relevant, they do give a fuck about it.
It's all about perspective, like I just said, because Amber Heard fucked up Johnny Depp and she got fucking millions. Shia LaBeouf supposedly did some stuff to these women. I'm just saying supposedly because I don't know for sure if he did it.
Let's pick a better guarantee, Marilyn Manson.
But he got more backlash than Amber Heard is getting. It's like it's a double standard. You can't. It's all about perspective, man, and it sucks.
I agree, because like you talking about that makes me think about how Marilyn Manson popped up in the news out of nowhere. Then motherfucker didn't make no music for a minute. He apparently released an album last year, and now this year he's getting allegations of all this abuse and like all this stuff like that. And it's like, I'm not saying this is okay, and I'm not saying that these people aren't victims, but like, this is Marilyn Manson. The man has pentagrams. He's clearly like a Satanist person, and like I'm not saying like what do you expect, but at the same time, why are you surprised when this is what the person is repping? But because he's so famous, everybody's like, no, this is the most worst thing. It's like, yeah, but like, it's weird because if you're not popular and you do all that shit, ain't nobody gonna come for your ass, like you're saying, Jason. But if you're popular enough and you do some fucked up shit and people get whiff of it on the internet, they're gonna come for your ass because they got nothing else better to do. Because if it was all legitimate, that whole shit with Kevin Hart wouldn't have happened.
Motherfuckers came for him over tweets
Perfect
from
example.
over a decade ago. And I
Let's
read those tweets, and yes, they
You're
are
right.
vitriolic and they can be hurtful. However,
Those tweets,
that was
those
10
tweets are not
fucking
that
years ago.
bad. They're just.
I
For
mean, like,
example,
they
they're
can be
jokes.
hurtful, but like, you could just not read it. You could ignore the motherfucker.
But
And that was
For-
10 years ago. The man is grown.
but he's
But you're gonna
Exactly.
cancel
Like,
his
you know,
life
also,
now.
he's also a comedian, and everything that a comedian does in the eye of social media or in the limelight should be taken as a joke. And it's
Yeah,
Even
not
if it's
a joke.
not
exactly.
good.
It is,
Like, even
and
if
I
it's
mean,
not good.
whether it's a good or a bad joke, it really doesn't matter. You got to
Nope.
respect the intent of a
Yep.
joke and comedy.
Yeah, like when he
Yeah.
called his daughter a hoe, the backlash he got for that too.
Wait, what'd you say?
Like when he called his daughter a hoe on the Netflix special, they got pissed off.
Yeah,
He did?
they got mad.
I
I'm
don't
like,
remember that.
Mind your fucking business. That's his fucking
it's a
daughter.
fucking joke. You know what I'm saying?
His daughter is showing hoe tendencies. He is the father, so he should be able to specify that his daughter is showing hoe tendencies.
I'll point that shit. But shit, I got a daughter, son, and I'm and shit, and I'm scared as fuck. And if
I
I
got
see
three of
shit, I'm
them.
just going, like, yo, stop that shit.
Hey, that's a legit thing to say, because when I hear that, I think about T.I.
Yeah.
How T.I. was going to the
When I
gynecologist and everybody got mad. They were like, "Oh, he's so invasive," but it's like, if T.I. didn't do that and his daughter gets pregnant at 16, what will people say? People gonna be like, "Oh, T.I." Yeah, they're gonna say you let your daughter run the street, you let her do whatever she want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, people
become
got
a super
opinions on how you should
stereotype.
raise your kids, but they're not gonna pay anything for that child.
Yeah, but then it shows that being 16 and pregnant make it. If you be 16 and pregnant, makes you cool. Because look at those girls at 16 and pregnant. They got pregnant at 16, and look where they at now. They all own a decent house, have a little mortgage. So now it makes it cool for parents to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then parents enable their kids, like 16 years old, and they have a kid, and then their parent has to end up raising that extra kid. You know what I'm saying? And it's
over there, Tyler. That's why patients have a little bit of hair on somewhere on your face, on your head.
Oh, that's how cold it was.
like they make that seem like it's cool, like it's normal. Hey, okay. Oh my daughter had a kid at 16. It's all right. Oh, it's fine. We'll be there for you. Just where you gonna be there, you know?
I will whip your ass.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be that, like, you know. We gotta as a dad. Like, what I realized, what I had to do is I had to be real at all the expectations and stories that I've heard that happen to women, and look at it that could be my daughter too. You know what I'm saying? God forbid that I hope never happens to her, but shit like that could happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I've been able to learn to have a little more respect for women ever since I had my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the stories and even things that I've done.
You should have had a little bit more respect for women before.
No, of course, I've always had respect for women, but I gain a more respect, and you know, I cherish them more because, you know, like I have a daughter now. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that could happen to a girl that I know can happen to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? God forbid. And that's what you gotta, like, you know, you gotta look at shit like that. Like, it could be your kid, and if you don't look at things like that, that makes you really ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
here comes the voices.
Was that Mario?
No, that was Mickey. The Mickey voices. It's a traditional thing, though. It always happens.
Once I get
where you from? Where you live, bro?
I live in Washington right now.
Oh, Washington, what? DC or state?
Oh no, Seattle.
Seattle. Oh, you all the way north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I've been wanting to get on the Amtrak train and take the ride all the way over there from Chicago and check it out.
It's nice. It's nice out here.
Yeah, My girlfriend is obsessed with Washington. She's like, she wants to, like, go move out there so bad. Like, she's like it's like a nerd town. That's what she said.
Yeah. I guess. I mean,
she said that's where Bill Gates is at. That's a nerd town.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Nah, but he's a lot of businesses and everything like that started here. A lot of tech startups, so I get why people would like to be here.
It's raining
It
Sunday?
was great. I heard it's really nice over there. I heard they got a lot of little good ecosystem and shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't rain as much as people try to make it seem.
Yeah.
The weather's starting to get nice again. I prefer it than living back on the East Coast when you gotta worry about snow. It doesn't snow that much out here.
Oh my God. I'm surprised because you guys are like right next to Canada.
I don't miss it.
I hear that it snows a lot over there. Like on the north side.
It rains.
I heard it snows a lot over there in Washington State on the north side.
Oh yeah, once you get past the mountains, I live near the water, so I don't really worry about it. But certain parts it does snow.
It fucking rains a lot in Florida, I'll tell you that.
I'd rather that than the snow.
Hey man, it's just like we got hit hard this winter.
I hate snow.
We got smacked this winter.
Yeah, but y'all didn't get hit as hard as y'all did a few years back.
Nah, for nothing.
We had like the fucking
That shit was
what was like 12 feet of snow?
It was as
Nah.
high
That
as
shit
the
was
gate
fucking
of
crazy.
the house.
Oh yeah, that one. No, but this one, man, we had like almost like I had like it was like halfway my door up, man. That was like a good 4 or 5 feet. Like and you want me to what happened? What really happened? We got 3 feet and then we got 4 feet right after.
What is happening?
Colin, are you taking a shit?
What the fuck came out your ass?
No, I was.
Oh,
Relax.
what is happening? Oh.
I don't know why. For a second there, it sounded like you took a shit, and then it sounded like you was fucking a transformer.
What person taking a shit sounds like they're using a jackhammer? Huh?
First of all,
That's not
just
healthy.
that.
Yeah,
That's not right.
That's all we heard.
Y'all messed up.
And then the transformer after that. That was weird.
Transformer took a shit in your cup.
And he's still gonna drink it.
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Hey, that's that Energon coffee.
So, Dre, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
Thank you, sir. Anything exciting happen?
No, I'm good. Well, you talking about like recently? You know, I'm pretty sure Bundy told you being out the Navy. It's funny to hear people call him Tallin. Like I don't know. I just never did that.
It's funny that you just called him Bundy.
That's his last name.
Oh well, for me that's funny.
Like I don't know. I mean, he'll tell you sometimes I call him Tallin, but for as long as I know him, I always call him Bundy.
You used to live in Waterbury?
Yeah, I did.
I hated it there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is my boy Dre. I've known him since high school.
Come on, man. I'm still here in Waterbury.
This is my
man.
nigga.
Come on, don't say that. I'm still
All
here
right,
in
this is
Waterbury.
my
Waterbury ain't that bad.
That's the dirty water. The dirty water.
The dirty waters. Where everybody tries to be something they're not.
It's the dirty.
Yeah, but it's not really a positive place. It's like it feels dark. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it doesn't help when it's got like all this history, and they're like, "Yeah, let's just tear down all of our history and just put up bullshit." And then also we'll keep a well-known prostitute hotel in business because fuck it, we're using it. We're the constituents. Like,
and they still haven't shut it down, man.
Well-known prostitute hotel.
Tyler didn't tell us you was in the Navy.
No, we didn't know that.
I did not. I didn't tell you nothing about him, to be honest. I used to play football with Dre.
All right. Yeah, I've been out for a year now, and for the last year, it's basically been working, certain jobs here and there. Working a job like a regular 9-to-5 job really sucks. Like I really don't miss that. But I didn't want to be in the Navy anymore. And
well, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate
Invest
that.
your money, brother. Invest your money. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. Being in the Navy was cool though. Like I would never say I miss it because I just think about like certain things I don't have to do anymore on a daily basis. Like I don't have to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and worry about being somewhere and doing this and doing that.
Yeah, fuck early mornings, bro.
I mean, after a while,
fuck all of y'all, right? Because I have to wake up at 5 in the morning to.
I can't help it though. At this point, it's like my body's programmed to want to be up early, whether I have something to do or not.
I
Like,
mean,
I
you're in
wake
there
up
for what, 4 years?
5.
Yeah, so like that's programming right there.
Yeah, like I basically you get programmed to operate a certain way. It's hard to not be like that, which I actually
It's good
appreciate.
to be like that though.
It is. Like I hate the feeling of like wasting a day not doing anything. Where it's like, damn, I couldn't imagine. I remember I used to wake up at like, noon or something when you're in college and you could just bullshit. But it's like, damn, you really wasted hours just sleeping in bed. So I don't do that.
I won't lie, I've been doing that the last week. I'm probably gonna do that the next week, but then I start
Thank
school,
you, Donna.
so that won't be happening no more. I'm gonna be busy as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm doing that tomorrow because that's the only day it seems like
Who's getting lit right now, Jason? Us or you? Huh?
Me.
You gotta take your wins and your losses, bro.
Word.
What is he? What is that you drinking?
Well,
what a wonderful question, Dre.
I'm drinking Turnbull Bay toasted coconut flavored rum, and we mixed it with a whole jug of.
Looks like milk.
First of all, it has a little bit of coconut milk in it. It has 2 things of coconut milk, a thing of coconut cream, and a big jug of pineapple juice. And we this was a little full.
That was at least half when we started. I can tell you that.
We're getting it in there. But we also got the spice rum on deck.
Yes. So yeah, they are very kindly a sponsor of ours, and
nice.
Jason here has been so kind as to be tasting out their various liquors, and then also making some cocktails for the junkers out here.
Yeah,
We're getting a little creative in this bitch.
A little bit.
But hopefully, I'll give myself a bottle in like a month or so. I gotta chill.
No, we'll definitely get you a bottle. But Dre, are you busy next week?
I'm not sure. I'm starting my new job, but I should have some time to if you guys stream on next Saturday.
Oh, we're on every Saturday.
Oh yeah,
every Saturday, every Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know my schedule yet, but I'm down to
Not bad, guys. I don't know
get
if
up
this
there
could be
again.
anything.
Oh well, definitely because it's gonna be a banger next week. We're gonna have Mr. Norman Plotkin on. He was our guest last night.
Oh, he's coming back.
Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back to read tarot cards, and he's coming back to
that's cool.
People's penmanship. So if you know how to write in cursive, any of you junkers know how to write in cursive. Any of you guys there know how to write in cursive.
Right here,
a little short paragraph.
I grew up in the
Send it to
90s. They
me
still talk
by Friday, and I'll add it onto the show, and he'll be able to analyze.
In Dominican Republic, I'm forced to do that because that's how they write in DR. So I had to learn in high school, like cursive, quick.
That sounds interesting that you're having somebody that does tarot cards and to see how we write in cursive. Because like I don't know, I've been learning a lot about how like the occultic symbolism in our language and everything that we do. So it's like you writing in cursive and you curse people and you spell with language and shit like that. It's kind of crazy.
You should DM me some of that shit, bro.
DM you some of what?
What you were just talking about.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how much longer y'all gonna be streaming. If you, I'll talk to you about it, or we could talk about it.
I mean, regardless of this show, send that shit to me. I'm curious.
Send you what
we are gonna be streaming for this.
Yeah.
So you could be on as many shows as you want. We will be streaming on multiple weekends across multiple years, hopefully, through the foreseeable future.
For the foreseeable future, there'll be a show Friday and Saturday every week. So that's the plan. If it's always goes as what's scheduled, we already know that doesn't always happen. But we always pull it out, and it's fun either way. So,
and we do plan to expand more shows.
If you are curious about I'm sorry, I forgot his name, Mr. Plotkin. We did a interview with him yesterday. Or rather, he kind of did the interview because Jason was feeling a little out of it, and my groggy ass did not wake up very well. But we were like there, and he was telling us everything that he did, and like how it's different and comes from a scientific point of view as opposed to quote unquote like a hippie position, and how he utilizes science in his hypnotherapy, in his tarot usage, and in his analyzation of handwriting and everything. So he's an interesting guy, fun guy. We've had somebody else kind of like that too, but they came from a different angle for their with their hypnotherapy.
And he
They
was
were
a
very
Marine.
successful
He
as well.
fucking talks like we do, so it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, nice. He was a cool guy. He was chill. It's a short. The Friday episodes too. They're interviews. They're not like we do it up here. We're way more loose up here. We just kind of go with the flow. But with the interviews, we try and make it about them and whatnot. So it's much shorter as well. So if you're curious before you hop on, because honestly, sometimes we don't research until the day of. Feel free to check it out.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Yeah, man. So ultimately, what are your thoughts on the new surface letter? Do you think it was the 3 people that were convicted? Do you think it was really 5 people, one of whom being the gunman William Bradley, aka Al Mustafa Shabazz, or do you think it was all set up by the FBI and the NYPD?
It was most. I mean, in my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure that all these alphabetic organizations are working together. So the NOI is working in unison with NYPD and the FBI, because the government is like, all right, we want to get this. We want to, what do they call? They say to exterminate him and get him out the picture, but they don't want to. They don't want to be the sole point of blame. So they get who they can from these black organizations and to infiltrate them and set them up. It happens all the time. Anytime black people come up with an organization for the community, it gets infiltrated. I meant to ask if you guys watched the Fred Hampton movie.
I seen half of it, and then I fell asleep because it's been a busy week for me.
Is that the new one that just came out on HBO?
Yeah,
No, I haven't. I've been seeing it everywhere, but I don't have HBO, so I haven't seen it yet.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard it's really good.
And the real concept that you know how they like. I personally hate when they make these kinds of historical movies because they always leave a major point of like aspect out of it.
Several
major one, right? So like they made an Abraham Lincoln movie where he's a fucking vampire slayer in one, which is crazy. But then they make a legitimate, or they say a legitimate Lincoln movie, and it's like 2.5 hours, and there's not any part of the movie where he's talking to Frederick Douglass about abolitionism.
Nor is there a part in the movie where he's slaying a vampire.
In the legitimate Lincoln movie,
I remember Dan Day-Lewis doing that.
I mean, at least throw a stake in there somewhere. Throw me an Easter egg.
He threw a stake into the heart of racism at the end in a weird scene. For scorn, take this, bitch. I don't really know what he sounded like.
But like in the Fred Hampton movie, they don't really dig deep into J. Edgar Hoover too much, right? And that's calculated. There's a reason why they're not going to talk about J. Edgar Hoover as much as they should have. So
because then people be like, huh?
Because J. Edgar Hoover, his thing was to make sure that there's no black messiah that black society could like organically create. So he's like, whatever the most important thing that we do with the CIA and the FBI is to get somebody in black society to find out who are they trying to build up, who are they trying to find in their communities that could actually uplift the people. And Fred Hampton was one of those people, and it's like, we got to get him out of here. And the movie is a whole lot more than that. It's that kind of movie. Those movies frustrate me because it's like, damn, that shit really happened.
All of those movies frustrate me because the
especially when they're done well, because then like people forget it's a lion.
And then they started yelling, acting is "Get out my pocket!" And I was like, "Fuck, that's a setup."
And I remember in the Malcolm X movie how Dick Gregory was saying how that was like the first time people saw Malcolm X in his life before he got famous or before he changed. So a lot of people don't know that him and Red Fox were really close friends, and they used
I didn't know that.
man, they used to be doing all their street business and hood shit together. And Red Fox was
That's
like,
hilarious.
just think about those two doing street shit together. And
That'd be a
Red
TV
Fox,
show, bro. That's a TV show.
Hey, look, I think about like, man, I should probably write some shit like that. But Red Fox would say how when they would be, doing whatever in the streets and they would be chilling, Malcolm was so militant even with that. So he was like, I got to figure out how I can get my next lick. I got to figure out who I could rob or I can steal next. It's like, damn, bro, relax. Like, you can't always
that hustle spirit.
Right?
I mean, nowadays it's funny because a lot of people got that part of Malcolm's spirit going pretty damn well.
And that's the point I was trying to make. How Dick Gregory is saying how in the Malcolm X movie they showed a part of Malcolm X people didn't really know about, and I wouldn't say it tarnished his name, but it made people look at him differently when it was like, damn, he used to be in the streets. He was fucking white women and all this other stuff.
Yeah, but see, they're looking at it at a wrong perspective. Again, earlier,
but like the thing is,
it was all about perspective. And if you're looking at it like, oh, he's preaching about good shit now, but he used to be an asshole back then. When you should really be looking at it as, damn, he was an asshole back then, but now he's preaching this.
Yeah.
Exactly. That kind of goes back to like Kevin Hart.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. Like people can't accept how people could just change. You know what I'm saying? People will never and that's the thing. People don't understand how to forgive.
Like, it's because they can't. They put that shit on the rest of us. The
main thing, like if I go ahead and say something stupid and assholish, right? But then as a man, I go ahead and
probably would because we all do it.
And let me tell you what, and I have. But as a man, a real man, if you're able to recognize that you said something wrong and you take that back, you feel me? All I can do, you did say that before. All I can do is respect that. And that's the problem. People don't understand. People don't know how to respect that and only want to take the negative of your context all the time and use that against you. But when you go ahead and retract and take it back and you be like, hey, you know what? I was wrong, and you admit that, they'll still, regardless, go to that negative, even after you admitted that you were wrong, took the blame, took the responsibility as a man, and owned up to your words, and as you said it, and they'll still go ahead and plagiarize you for what you said before. And that's fucked up. And that's a problem.
Nobody has to retract by law.
People don't know how to forgive anymore. And people are always going to use your negative flaw against you for anything. Even if you overachieve that negative flaw, they're still going to just use that because that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, that's the only negative flaw. Yeah. That's all they got. And that's the thing. People don't know how to forgive, and that's why we're at where we're at. You know what I'm saying? People just know how to use what people said 30 years ago and just keep using that. Okay, yeah, he said that 30 years ago, but what is he doing now? Is he doing something better now? Cool. That's all I could. He's doing better. That's it. All right, it's already in the past. Why the fuck am I still stressing something he said or what somebody said 40 years ago or 10 years ago, 15 years ago? But Jason, the thing is that I'm saying, if he owned it and recognized that he was wrong at the time, why the fuck am I still blaming him?
Yeah, but not everybody sees it that way, bro. Not everybody sees it that way. It's all about perspective, like I said.
Yeah, I get it.
Some people will see it like, oh shit, he was a good dude right now, but he was a fucked up bitch before. Yeah. And some people see it like, oh, he was a fucked up bitch before, but look at what he's doing now.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little more pessimistic about it. I think people don't have a single fucking thought about things like that at all. What they actually do is, more often than not, unless you've been educated in it or you're aware of it or you've actively yourself sought out that information, you're gonna just think whatever somebody told you in the way that they told it to you. So if they tell it to you from a negative connotation of, yeah, he did this preaching, but he was actually a gangster and blah, 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 as opposed to he was a gangster that became a iconic leader of Black people. So it is about perspective, but I think it's not as much perspective nowadays as it is sheeple, because I'm not saying you junkers are sheeple, but I know you know some. And
They just listen to what they're told and believe what they're told, and then they don't follow up on it, which is why when people own up to it, like Chance is saying about, hey, I was wrong about what I did back in the day. That was fucked up. People are already marketing and trying to make money off of that fuck up right away. Before you even get a chance to think about retracting what you said, somebody's making money off of that. And that's automatically more important than making anything right. So if you do put that retraction or you admit to your wrongdoings or something like that, nobody who let everybody else know you fucked up is going to be like, oh yeah, so he retracted it, so let's forgive him. Nobody puts out that kind of thought. Everybody just talk shit, and then when you hear that you can't talk shit anymore because they retracted it, you just stop talking and you talk about something else. And the last thing that people remember is that person is fucked up. Which is one of the reasons why, even though he's not black, fucking Louis C.K. has been going through all the bullshit he's had to go through because, yeah, what he did was nasty and it was, I guess, fucked up, but it was consensual. He never did anything that nobody else was like, yeah, go ahead. It was just really fucking weird. And then everybody else was like, oh, that's this and that's that and that's this. But the people involved are like, yo, it's fucking weird. But I said fine. Like I didn't care. Like it wasn't a big deal to me. It's a bigger deal to you. And then somebody who was at the top tier of comedians is now at the bottom rung, trying to wait until people forget that that's what happened while the new big thing came out, the new allegations, the new scandals, the new this, new that, and nobody ever retracts that shit.
Just like this white dude that married his fucking Chinese stepdaughter.
Yeah, Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen.
I don't remember who it was. It was some comedian who said it. Right there. There was some comedian who said like who brought up what you're talking about. And he was like he grew his own pussy, like that. Woody Allen grew his own pussy. Like that's how fucked up it was. And it was like, yo, like as harsh as that is, by saying it like that, it makes it even worse. And it's like, yo, why the fuck is he still just like an icon in filmmaking? That's what he did. That's what he did.
Well, I mean, like you saying, perspective is the thing, because there's plenty of people in Hollywood history that we know have done some pretty awful shit, and people just look past it, and then we just say, so what? We like there's certain people we like at a very high level and we don't care. It's like, you know what? I don't personally care that R. Kelly might have peed on some girls and they were 16.
I think R. Kelly did it. I don't think
no. He definitely did it.
No, he did that shit.
But R. Kelly's one of the greatest R&B artists ever. And
yeah.
But you can't even front. You listen to his music now and you're like, it's a little weird. Damn, that motherfucker.
Oh no, it is. Pedophile. You know, it's funny.
Yeah,
one day,
for most of it, there are still some shit you're like, fuck, yo, this is still
No, but you really can't listen to his old music and listen to the lyrics and think like, all right, this is kind of strange.
Yeah, you can't listen to it. It can be on, like Step in the Name of Love. You know what I'm talking about?
Strange now, but no.
I remember one time at work where
people forgive that. People forget. Like that's the thing. People forgive that. What you were just exactly saying. Like people, when they have personal sentiment towards a certain somebody, they're like they can't do no bad. You know what I'm saying? For more bad that they do, they can't do no bad because that's their guy. That's whoever it is for them. Oh yeah, but that was he did that was, but he was young. It's okay. And like, but I'm like, he still did it. I'm like, he still did it. I'm like, he's
fucking Charlie Sheen. Who was that shit, bro? Like, he was like, yeah, I'm doing cocaine and crack, and I'm just fucking tons of women, got AIDS, and blah blah blah, and like I fuck rhinoceroses, and like it's like, yo, when is this not gonna be okay?
Yeah, but you want me to tell you what though? You want me to tell you what? One thing you gotta respect is he fucking owned that shit. He fucking owned it.
He did own it. That's why it worked.
He had no choice.
Yeah,
if he could hide it, he would. The motherfucker.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying to hide that
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead and say he has no choice, but in a way, bro, I feel like he just said it because he was just gonna fucking say it anyway, bro. Because Charlie, like, my dude, he fucking
exactly. He came out with it because motherfuckers was gonna say it anyway.
You gotta hit it beforehand because then people for some reason won't clown you as hard or disrespect you as much if you say it ahead of time.
One thing that he said that, yeah, he did party like that, but he said that there were a lot of people that's gonna be their best experience that they ever had in their lives.
Fuck
He
that.
gave them for that.
Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Yeah,
That's
or
Robert
Tim
Downey
Allen.
Jr.
He got
Tim
caught with, what was
Allen!
it? Like a Kia Coke, you said, or something like that?
It was mad keys. Hold on.
In the airport. Like that right there, that tells me that before he got caught, Tim Allen very heavily invested in his white privilege, because there's no reason no sane person's like, I'm just gonna get in a fight with keys of cocaine.
Nobody even remembers
Yeah?
Robert Downey Jr.'s bad downfall anymore after Iron Man.
Yeah, here, look. On October 2nd, 1978. Look. The powers that be don't even want me to say it.
By the way, this Transformers shit is delicious.
Is it?
Sounds
So it's Pina Colada, sponsored by sponsored by Sugar Works Distillery. Ooh, almost thought about a past sponsor.
It just tastes like water.
1978, Allen was arrested in Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport for possession of over 650 grams of cocaine.
Bro, if you're in a place like Kalamazoo, that sounds like where you would get that much cocaine. The fuck?
It's that no. If you're in Kalamazoo getting arrested, it sounds like you made a wrong turn to Albuquerque.
You probably did, and then you picked up some cocaine and a kazoo, and you snorted a Kalamazoo and got caught. That's why they call it that.
I remember the first time I read that story, and I was like, "Wait a second, this guy really is." He had a great career in Hollywood,
but he had the career in Hollywood after that.
Yeah, I know. He was on Home Improvement in the '90s,
and the Santa Claus.
And yeah, I was just about to say in the Santa Claus movies, and it's like this dude flipped and beat anybody else is going to jail for a really long time.
Hell yeah!
Like how the fuck?
Hell yeah! That's probably life, especially if you're black,
bro. There's no getting out.
Just think about how many people he snitched on and flipped on him and got in jail.
I bet that's where 6ix9ine got the inspiration.
What you say? With 6ix9ine?
I bet that's where 6ix9ine got inspiration. Was Tim Allen? He read that story and he was like, "Whoa, I could do that."
Oh, look at that mustache!
Damn, look at that. He looks like somebody from Fargo that you wouldn't want to run into. You know what I'm saying? Look like somebody you pull a heist and then he want to chop you up, put you in a wood chip or some shit. But he's too weak because he does so much coke.
Could you imagine the fucking cokesicles coming off that nostril? Right there.
Honestly, he doesn't even look like Tim the Toolman Taylor. That looks like some sort of.
But you can see where he got the likeness from because he was like, oh.
I do ridiculous things.
You know, everybody wanted their dad to be like him. Everybody wanted their dad to be like him, Eddie too. So
that show, like, I know we've gotten a little bit off topic here, but that show is kind of crazy in the sense of like that and Married with Children were extremely popular shows, and misogyny on those shows is an all-time fucking high, especially Married with Children. They have a whole entire group for that. I forgot what it's called, but it's like an anti-women group. Hold up, it's got a weird ass acronym. Let me find it.
Well, while he's doing that, I bet we can just all agree that regardless if it was
it's called No Ma'am. That's what it's called.
No Ma'am?
Yeah. It's called No Ma'am, which stands for National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood / numb old men anxiously awaiting morticians.
Oh, God.
That's
but yes, going back to what you're saying, I think we can all agree here.
That whether it was the Nation of Islam or the FBI or the NYPD,
the CIA,
all of them together.
It's all them people fucking together in a nasty fuck circle assassination.
It was ultimately just very fucking tragic.
It is.
That a leader such as himself was taken so early from his family.
It sucks.
Speaking of that, I was actually asking Chance and Jason earlier if they knew about this. Maybe you've heard something, Drake, in regards to, like, I know he called Malcolm X because he didn't have recognition of his last name, but his daughter's last name is Shabazz. Is that his actual last name, or is that just the name that they ended up taking?
When he converted.
So when he converted, he had a last name, but he still ended up going by Malcolm X.
Yeah, his name in Arabic or when he converted to Islam was Malik El Hajj El Shabazz.
Okay, so the Shabazz comes from there. Because I was curious about that because I knew he was Malcolm X because he didn't have a last name. But then we were talking about how recently
he was Malcolm Little first, and then he was Malcolm X.
Okay, Malcolm Little first. Okay. Because there was a whole thing with Brown University where he came through and he was introduced as Malcolm X Shabazz. And I just hadn't recalled him ever being called Malcolm X Shabazz, just Malcolm X or his other names, but not like that. So I wasn't sure whether or not, because he's got 5, 6 daughters. So like, yeah, so like that's just kind of crazy. But okay, that makes sense. That makes change, unlike our presidents.
What'd you say?
I said that makes change, unlike our presidents. Shout out to Biden for bombing Syria and then making us forget by sending us money this month. So.
It's not even gonna be as much money as you asked for, but yeah.
Nope. And it's gonna fuck up next year's taxes too, I'm sure. I'm actually going to a tax man this year because I think TurboTax is definitely trying to butt fuck us.
Well, in a way, a lot of things that are well, not to point out the negatives, but what I really respect that he did the other day was like, the shit with the vaccines. You feel me? Like, how he paid for 200 million vaccines. I like how he dead ass went out of nowhere. Like nobody knew he was gonna go, and he popped up back the factory. Like, yo, I hope your niggas is working on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he went to go like check on that because nobody knew about he was going over there. He just got up from his chair, was like, let me go see if these niggas is working on my shit. And and they fucking like that. I'm gonna give him props on that. Like a lot of people a lot of people that I know are vaccinated right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't giving no president no fucking props on something that's part of a goddamn job.
Yeah,
that's what he should be doing is making sure there's vaccinations being made for the fucking country. Fuck him if he thinks he should get a cook for that.
Again, just like everything on this episode, it's
but that's what I'm saying.
Matter of perspective.
Like, I gotta let him. You can't go.
Hold on, y'all both talking. I can't understand.
Oh my bad.
Are they? It's all about perspective, just like the rest of this episode. Are they doing it for our health? Are they doing it?
Well, hell no. It's the presidential system. That's a whole nother episode, though.
It's a whole nother episode. And
that's a whole nother.
This episode is just about wrapped up. So I do want to.
Yeah, we don't have enough sugar, rum. I can't even remember their name. Fuck, we don't have enough.
No,
y'all got enough. The three of us on screen right now. Y'all got plenty.
Who's drinking, me or you?
When?
I'm drinking a little bit.
Right now.
I have a beer.
You talking like you're the one drinking and it's me drinking.
No, I already told you last week when I'm in a good place, I get like this. I get more aggressively happy. But see, now I gotta go. You hear the phone ringing? I gotta answer that shit. It could be death.
See, well, hopefully it's not death. And we gotta go too, because this is about to be killed.
All right, brother.
We want to take.
They hung up, so I guess it wasn't death.
So it wasn't death, but it's the death of this episode.
All right.
So, Dre, thank you for coming on. Again, we want to invite you next week. We got Norman Plotkin coming on. He's gonna read some tarot cards and read cursive. He's gonna analyze your handwritings. Whoever sends them in. So whoever wants their handwriting analyzed, send it to
in cursive. It's gotta be in cursive.
What is it? What is it? I gotta write my name or something like that?
No, do not write your name. He said your name symbolizes who you want to be.
Okay.
If you write a paragraph of anything, it symbolizes who you are.
Okay. All right.
So, like Talon said earlier, if you want to listen to that, go ahead to the archives on YouTube. Tomorrow it'll be available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes and all of that other good shit, as well as these BreakRoom episodes. So again, thank you, Junkers, for joining us. Sunshine Donna, I see you guys are saying goodnight, but I dropped my mouse, so I can't scroll over it. So
Junkers, good night.
I
I
think
hope
the answer
everybody's
is
safe.
you're drinking, Jason. I'm fine. My headset's here.
I am drinking, but my dog, he's a bastard.
Yes, because
Thank you for having me. I'll be back next week.
Our pleasure,
Word.
man. Our pleasure. Hopefully, you could come on more shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Word. Yeah, I'm glad you can make it, bro. Thanks for stopping by.
Word, Dre. It was a pleasure.
Always.
Likewise.
All right, Junkers. Good night.